Well, guys, guess what's back? It's the Sym Symba. Yep, it's back, and I think it died of boredom. Got it back to them a little over a year and a half ago or so, or a year ago, I don't remember. But they've had it a year or so, and it is pretty much dead again. It now has a total of, I think, 883 miles on it. So, it hadn't been ridden much. Let's dig down to the carburetor on this thing and see if we can figure out what's going on. And oh, by the way, of course, the battery is completely dead. Let's do it. Well, the first thing we need to do is pull off this leg shield again so we can get down to everything. So there's, I think, a total of 6 bolts to hold that on. We'll pop those out. Well, we got the cover off, and we can see a lot more now. We got our carburetor here, and everything looks to be pretty much in order, kind of like we left it. Let's see if we got any fuel flowing to it. That would be good. And I think we can probably just pull a fuel line over there and see if we got anything running to it. I think we disabled the vacuum petcock last time we were in here. So, 2 things. Let's make sure it has fuel, and make sure it's getting fuel to the carburetor. That'd be 2 good things. Well, there is some gas in it, but it smells like really old, funky, nasty gas. So let's pop a fuel line off the carburetor and make sure we're getting fuel there. Yeah, we're getting fuel there. And it doesn't shut off just like I suspected it wouldn't. Well, let's drain the carburetor bowl and see if this thing will actually start, I guess. Alrighty, our drain is right here. We'll loosen it up and let this drain for just a moment. Let me get a pan under that. Maybe that would be better. I want to drain enough gas out of here that it's got all the old out of the carburetor. And get the not so fresh gas in the gas tank into it. It'll be fresher than what's in the carburetor, but not a whole lot more than that. All right, let's shut that off, turn the key on. The battery is dead, and I don't know if this thing can make spark with a dead battery. But let's just give it a couple of chuckles over and see if it does anything. I bet it's hydrolocked. Yep, it's feeling like it anyway. Let's pull the plug and see if any gas runs out of here. I didn't even look to see if we had 100. I know we got oil, but I don't know how much. We might have way too much oil, being oil and gas mix. Find a spark plug wrench that'll fit this sweetheart. Yep, cylinder's full of fuel. That doesn't look like a very good idea to have our spark plug wired down in the gas. Maybe we should even turn the key off so we don't have spark for sure. There we go. Now, while we have the plug out, let's see if we have spark when we have a dead battery. We do. I've seen one. You just have to take it on my word that it happened, because I'm not going to let it spark too many times with enough fuel around here to send this place to the moon. I'm going to put the spark where it belongs, inside the cylinder. She started and died. What's new? Yeah, thinking we need to take a closer look at the old carburetor here. Probably ought to pull it off, clean the carburetor. It's same old story no matter what you got. Carburetors and fork seals, that's what I do a lot of. And now we're going to do a carburetor. So to do that, let's pull the air box off here. You're a little too far down for that. Pull the air box off, the clamp right here, then 2 screws will get the carburetor off in our hand, and we'll see how junked up it is. Should be a good time, huh? Here we go. There we go. Let me get a socket and we'll get after it. All right, our carburetor's loose. We need to clamp off our fuel line. Might be enough. Yeah, appears to be. Need to unhook our electric choke wires. You know, don't have too much of a ring around the needle. All right. That does it for the old carbon trader. Let's pull it apart. You know, our float bowl doesn't look too bad. Not sure. Let's go ahead and vibrate that pin out of there. There we go. I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and pull this apart and run it through the ultrasonic cleaner, and then we'll put it back together and she'll start and run. The ultrasonic cleaner has some warming up to do because it's about 50 degrees out here in the garage, and it needs to get up to about 100 to be super effective. So we'll go ahead and pull this apart. Then we'll wait for the ultrasonic cleaner to warm up, and I'll bring you back after we get the carb out of it. Oh, look at the green on there. Yeah. Can you see that? Yep. That's the start of some growings. Such a small jet. I want that whole emulsion tube to come out at once. There we go. That's out. We'll pull our electric choke out. I don't know a way to convert this to a not electric choke, so we're just sticking with this. Now we do have, the same guy owns the KD175 Kawasaki we worked on before, 78 model. And it's back as well. It's died of boredom and the clutch is out of it. So we'll have to address that as well. There's our electric choke. Should be a mixture screw. There is. Right here. Be a fuel mixture screw since it's on the fuel side of the carburetor. Pop that out, and then there'll be a spring in there. There it is. Right there. That's out. Don't think there'll be anything else in there. Well, that's it. A pretty stinking simple carburetor, but she just doesn't go. Now the fuel is really nasty in this thing, and we're going to have to figure out a fuel valve on this so they can actually turn the gas on and off. So we may do something creative with that and just put an inline fuel valve into it. We'll have to see how that works out. But I don't think there's really too much to getting this going. We are going to pull the battery out of it because we've got to charge it. It's stone dead. And it is an AGM battery, so I don't know if it's going to come back from being stone dead or not, but we'll give it a shot. We'll hook another battery to it to trick the charger into thinking it's there, and it'll charge them both up. So we'll give that a shot. I'll bring you back when we got that done. You know, sometimes you think you're recording something and you're not. Well, I thought I was recording putting this carburetor back together, but it turns out I wasn't. And now the car's back together. It's not an entirely bad thing, but the assembly is pretty much the reverse order of disassembly, so shouldn't be too big a deal. Run the other side and tighten the other one up. Hopefully we can still get our slide and stuff in. I don't think that should be too hard a deal. There we go. Our slide, the needle looks to be in pretty good shape on it. So not a lot of ring around the needle or anything. You know, I thought keeping the camera lower might help for him getting my hand out of the way more, but not sure that's working. There you go. Now you can see a bit more what I'm doing. That gas is pretty nasty. I think we'll drain it out and then put some fresh gas in it. See if we can get all this stuff to cooperate. Well, that's pretty near hopeless. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. We'll let that sit there and drain, and we'll go ahead and put our air filter on. Yeah, something like that. We're getting there. Get that to slide over the carburetor. There we go. Get our clamp tightened up. Wrong size. Wrong way, too. There we go. I'll go around and get the one on the other side. go. That's all plumbed like it was. Yep. There we go, that's done. Slide that back in there. Close our door. Hopefully we're done in there. You know, this thing's kind of goofy, but I don't mind the build quality of it much. Tell you what, go down in the comments and let me know what you think about these things. This is a Sym Symba, something like that. And I've seen a few of them around, but not very many. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of these things. Is this just Chinese junk, or is this actually something kind of decent? By the way, it's made in Taiwan, not China, but you know what I mean. Alrighty, our gas is done draining, so I'm going to hook the gas line back up, and then we will see if it'll start. There we go. Had to wait for a little gas to get there. I'm telling you, this is not a bad little rig. Let it warm up for a minute. Starting to warm up, it's just smoking a little bit. Getting that fuel and stuff burned off of it. Well, you know how this thing was running super lean? That's because we didn't have the main jet cleaned out well enough. And it wasn't getting enough fuel. But we have since fixed that, which I'm about to demonstrate. Turn the key on. Put the key back up there. This is a cold start. We just started her up from the cold. Now, I did not put the leg shield back on this yet because I need to run a fuel shutoff. This thing used to have a vacuum petcock on the bottom of the tank, and it has since died. So I'm going to put a fuel cutoff and mount it into the side of the leg shield so it's nice and easy to get to. Anyway, it's running now, and we do have a total of 803 miles. Our high beam's on. Turn signal, obviously horn. Low on fuel, so that light's blinking. And we have brake lights. Well, this sweetheart is ready to go again. Now, what did we end up doing to this thing? Well, you saw earlier that fuel come out of the spark plug hole, and that's because the fuel petcock had died. Couldn't really find one exactly like this one, so I put a regular petcock in it, and then I put a shutoff down here. It used to have a vacuum one on the gas tank. Well, that one died. No giddy, no gutsy. So we put this in down here. So that's off, and that's on with the fuel. Grab our key here. Turn this sweetheart on. Hit the start button. And it runs again. So anyway, the Sym Symba is ready to go again. And it mostly just died of boredom. Anyway, ready to go. Thanks for watching. God bless. And take care of things. Subscribe, like, whatever you want to do there. That'd be great. Thanks.